Hey guys, Tony here with a quick tutorial on the stitch that I did a little while ago and posted here on the group. A lot of you seem to like it, which I was really surprised, but I was really pleased that it seemed to be of interest. And since there were several requests for a tutorial, I'm going to try to do one since I have a little time this evening. I'm not a tutorial expert, so I'm probably going to have some hiccups along the way, so bear with me. I'm going to be doing this on about a 3 to 5 ounce oil tan leather. It works great on veg tan as well. It needs to have a little bit of a firm hand to it. You don't want it too thin or too soft, as that will cause it to pucker in the middle or to overlap if it's really thin. But otherwise, most of the leathers that are anywhere in the 3 to 5 and up are probably going to work just fine. Today I'm going to be using a round polyester thread. It's not what I usually use. Normally I will use a flat braided nylon, which is what I posted, but you can see there's not much contrast there. It would be hard to see. So today I'm going to be using a round tan polyester just so that you can see it. It looks good either way, but if there's no contrast, it's going to be hard to see. So let's take a look at getting this started. This is a double needle. So I have needles on both ends of my thread. And this particular stitch takes a lot of thread. Okay, so whatever thread you would normally pull out for a stitch, you should probably pull out 2 to 3 times more. Because the way this stitch is woven through it, through and back and forth, it takes a surprising amount of thread. So just be aware of that. But let's go ahead and get started. When we start this stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to take and go down through I'm on the top side here, going down through the top. Okay. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and check and pull both needles together to make sure my ends of my thread are the same length. Okay. Now, come up through hole 1 on the other side. All right, I'm going to go back down through this first hole and back up to the second hole. This is like I did before, to create a bar. All right, this creates a bar at the bottom of the stitch. And that helps lock that in together. See how that already tightens up? Now if I just give that little bit of a pull, that's already kind of locked down, and it works well. As you go, you can kind of make sure that your holes are aligned. This is scrap leather that I just punched real quick, so it may not line up just perfectly. But now that we have our bar, I'll show you the back side. There should be a double bar on the back. We're going to go across and up 1 hole on each side. This is the only time you will advance by 1 hole. That's when you're starting and finishing this stitch. I'm going to go up and across like that. On this side, I'm going to go up and across 1 hole to create a normal corset type stitch. Right? Now, we want to create our cross on the back. Okay? So, I'm going to go and cross down 1 hole. So I'm going to take the one on the left, and I'm going to go back down 1 hole. This first hole, the first and last set of holes, have a lot of thread that happens in them because you go through them. I'm going to take this one, cross, down, and come out on the opposite side. Now, give it a little bit of a tug to tighten it up. Now, you have a single bar and a cross on the top. You have a double bar and a cross on the bottom. Okay, that's how that works. Now, we're not going to go up by one hole, we're going to go up by two. And at this point, you want to kind of choose which side you want to start with. It doesn't really matter, but if you start on the same side, it's easier to keep track. I'm going to start on the left side, which is here. I'm holding this a little crooked so the light can hit it. But I'm going to start with this thread right here. I'm going to go out to my needle, and now we're going to take a look at our weave pattern. You can see how this thread is going over top. We want to go from the first hole past the second hole to the third hole. All right? And since this particular thread is going over, okay, we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that thread. We're going to cross over top of it, so it's a weave, and we're going to pull it through. Now, that particular thread, when it goes, grab my needle here, it comes out of this hole, it crosses over this one and under that one. We're starting our weave pattern. Okay. Now we're going to take our other thread, this one, and we're going to check our weave pattern. Well, this one goes over and under, so we're going to go under and over. We're going to come right over here, work our way under there, loosen that up a little bit if I have to. Well, there we go. We're going to go under and over, and we're going to go in the third hole. There we go. That's how you start this particular stitch. Once you're at this point, you're now on a point to do the weave all the way across until you get to the finish or where you want to end. Okay? This stitch is sort of like a dance. It's 2 steps forward. Okay, we're going to go, for example, we went from hole 1, we went all the way up to hole 3. 2 steps forward. Then we're going to come back to hole 2. We're going to come 1 step back on the opposite side. So it's 2 steps forward, across, 1 step back, across. Okay? And that will create the double cross on the front and the single cross on the back. Let's try that. I'm going to make sure my threads are straight. I'm going to start with the one on the left. We went in hole 3. So I'm going to go across and come out hole 2. Right like that. This one, it went in this hole. So we're going to come across and come out hole 2, just like we did on the other side. Check where my needle is so I can line it up. Okay, now we just keep repeating that cycle. I've already got this one right here in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my weave pattern. Okay, this one goes over top, so we're going to go over top, and we're going to go in the next hole, like we did before. Now, I'm going to take our other thread, check our weave pattern. This one's going over and under, so we're going to go under and then over. What you'll find is you keep doing the same thing on the same side. If you always start with the same thread, we're going to go in that hole. That's our 2 steps forward. If you keep doing the same thing, I'm going to hold these. I'm going to turn this, grab both, and I'm just going to give them a little pull to tighten that up. And you can see how they're beginning to lay. You may need to shape it a little bit, and that's fine. But since we're laid out this way now, we've taken our 2 steps forward, we can take our 1 step back. I'm going to start again. I'm starting with this one over here. We came up, we went into hole 4. I'm going to cross over and come out in hole 3, just like we did before. Oh, that's hole 2, so I've got to go up 1. It's hard when you can't see. There we are. This one, we went in hole 4, so we're going to cross over and come out in hole 3. That's our 1 step back. I'm going to try to hit that. How about that? Pull it out. Give it a little tug. Now we do the same thing again. I'm going to start with the one on the left. I just came out hole 3. See, this one's going over, so I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to go up to hole 5. That's my 2 steps forward. Take the other side. Check my weave pattern. Again, just like before, we're going to go under this one and over that one. So let's go under and over. And we're going to go in up here. I'm going to turn it sideways, give it a little tug, tighten it up. Now, get our threads separated. Again, I'm going to start with the left. We went in hole 5, so I'm going to cross over and come out hole 4. That's my 1 step back. There it is. Okay, I'll let that lie. We'll grab my other thread. I went in hole 5, so I'm going to cross over behind and come out on hole 4. There it is. Okay. Now we just repeat. I'm already on this side, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to cross over and down, continuing the weave pattern. This one I'm going to go under, and then I'm going to go over, continuing the weave pattern. And as long as you have thread, you can just keep doing this. Because this is a progressive stitch, it goes all the way across. You don't have to stitch all the way down the length of the seam and then back up and stitch over it again. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Again, give it a slight tug, not a lot. Now, when we turn it over, what we find is we've created our crosses on the back. Every time that you go 2 steps forward, you create the weave on the front. Every time you come across 1 step back, you're creating your cross on the back. So really that's all you're doing. So now you have a double bar with crosses all the way up. And we can continue this. I'll do a few more and then I'll kind of wrap up and show you how to finish the stitch. I don't plan on going all the way down this because, I mean, you guys are quick. You're not going to need that much. Separate our threads out again. Let's start on the left. I went in this hole, so I'm going to cross over and come out one back. And it's okay to flip the piece over and stuff like that. I'm trying not to do that because it can be really distracting on camera. Pull that one out. Same thing with this one. We came in this one, so we're going to cross one down and come out that one. And if you wind up in the wrong hole for any of these, it's usually pretty easy to back it out. Just run the needle back down through where you came out. Now we'll flip it around. There's your next cross. See how nice that is? It makes a very nice and consistent join. Let's do one more, and then I'll show you how to finish this stitch. We have enough pattern here that you can see how it works now. You just keep going down, and it's creating this really nice pattern. I'm going to go over top, and I'm going to go down through that hole, just like before, because I'm always starting on the left. There it is. I'm going to take the next one. I'm going to go under, and then I'm going to go over. Easy. And then I'm going to go in. I already have the one in my left hand, so let's go ahead and do one step back. I'm going to go across. I'm going to come back. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I'm going to come back right there. I'm going to come out just like we've always done. Same thing on the other side. Cross over. We went in this hole. So we're going to cross over and come out this hole here. If I can hit it. It can be a little difficult sometimes. There it is. All right. Give it a little tug. Now those are pretty straight and consistent. You can mess with them as you go along. But you have this nice pattern. Now we want to finish the stitch. Okay, we can keep going this way and get this great double cross pattern. Now to finish the stitch, you just do the opposite of what you did down here. Okay, what we're going to do is, now that we're getting to the end, say this is the top of this stitch is where we want to stop. We're going to take our left side, and instead of going 2 holes up, okay, well, normally we would go up to this hole here. We would just continue the pattern on. We would go from here to here, but now we're wanting to stop, so we're just going to go over 1. Like that. See, it creates the same type of cross that we got at the bottom. All right, we're going to take this side, and we're just going to go the same way as we did before. Under. This one's hard because it's a little close. We're going to go under. I'm going to turn this. And then we're going to go over. Yeah, that takes a little work. And we're going to pull it up. And we're just going to go down 1. Okay. Now, we need to create our bar, just like we have down here. We have the same pattern. It needs to be moved a little bit. There we go. You'll need a stylus and stuff to even those out if you want them to be perfect. But now you can do with either side. Here we see on the back we have all of our crosses. You're going to come up through this hole, and either side, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Oops, I dropped it. I'm splitting the thread, which I don't want to do. So let's try the other side. As I said before, these end holes will have a lot of thread in them because of the times that you wrap it. There we go. We're going to come up over. We're going to come straight across and down to create that bar. Look at that. See, that's a good looking stitch. It needs a little adjustment, but you know, it's straight off the needle. So I'm going to give it a little pull. Notice how I'm pulling it, but I'm not pulling it so hard that it's puckering in the middle. You don't want to do that, okay? Now that we have that straightened out, okay, let's take a look at the back. There's double bar, all your crosses, your single bar. The second part of your double bar is when you tie it off. And I have plenty of thread left here because I didn't know how far I was going to go down this stitch. Okay. So let's get these here. Overhand. Going to give it a little tug. You don't want to strain it. Just a little bit. Now, do the same thing. This is a square knot, simple square knot. Little tug. Hold them up. Give them a little trim. And then I will usually take a lighter. Yes, I know this is a Zippo that burns like a butane lighter. Give it a little singe. And there you have it. That's the stitch that I posted. I'm glad that you guys appreciate it. We didn't need to go all the way down. We could have. But that creates your double cross on the front with a single bar on the top and bottom. Your single cross on the back with a double bar on the top and bottom. I hope this has been helpful to you. It's been fun to do. I appreciate your guys' encouragement and enthusiasm. This has actually been my first tutorial that I've ever done. So appreciate the request. And keep stitching, keep creating. Bye-bye.